go. All right, y'all. So, once again, in the mobile barbershop, another barber bus talk. We're going to, oh yeah, so this is the one bus. Come over here. Try not to get hit. But anyway, so we over here, this is the other bus right here. So basically what we're gonna do is talk about relationships. We're gonna talk about relationships. We're gonna talk about how being clingy may or may not be good, and just delve into some more relationship stuff like that on this video. Like and subscribe. You're gonna love this video. I got a lot more videos, a lot more tutorials coming out. You know, we're doing big things this year. We try to like blow up. So like and subscribe and share. All right, y'all. Love you. Hey, another great, wonderful episode of Barber Bus Talk. We have my man Nasir here, my young man here. We got Shauna. Okay, so we're gonna talk about now. Here I got his haircut. As you can see, she's not getting a haircut. I just cut her boy's hair. But we're gonna sit here and talk about a few things, and they don't know the subject yet. So the subject is gonna be for today. Fix yourself and make sure you look good for the camera.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna ask Shauna the first question. How do you feel about being clingy? Do you think it's a good thing, bad thing, or indifferent, or otherwise? For a man or a woman to be clingy, you think that's good?
Well,
can it be good?
No, I don't think it can. I mean, I guess it could be good if you've got two people who are both have an anxious attachment style, and then they're both clingy and needy, and then I guess that would work for them.
Explain anxious attachment style.
So basically, like, there's three different attachment styles. There's secure, anxious, and avoidant. Anxious is typically people who are clingy, people who are needy, people who need to be up under you 24/7, who want a lot of time and attention. That's what a anxious attachment style is. So personally, I don't like it. I've had several instances where I stopped dealing with someone because I felt like they were clingy and needy, and it didn't work for me. And I've heard lots of guys complain about women being clingy and needy, so I'm imagining for most men that doesn't work either.
Okay. So, do you think that is... So it could be a good thing if they're both that way. But if one's not that way...
Good is... I mean, good is a relative term. Do I think that's healthy? No. Do I think it could work for them because they're both unhealthy? Possibly.
Okay. What do you think about space? Do you think a relationship should have a degree of space?
I do. I think that a relationship should not be the center of your universe. I think a relationship should be kind of a supplement to whatever else you already have going on. So you have, this life that you've created, and the relationship is part of that, not the center of it, where you make everything else revolve around that person. I think that's too much pressure. I think when you don't give a person space, when you make everything about them, when you don't have your own life, your own interests, your own friends, I think it's too much pressure on the other person.
Right. I'm going to ask Nasir a question related to this. Now, you're a younger guy. Do you feel like, girls your age are kind of clingy?
Yes. I feel like most females my age are very clingy. It's a new age thing. They feel like they have to be up under you 24/7. I feel like it's very much of an insecurity, You don't want your person to have enough free time because you feel like they're going to find someone else better than you, or you just really have those issues growing up that you always feel like you need to cling to somebody, to make you feel whole, and that's not a good thing at all.
Yeah, and the truth is, if someone's going to cheat, they're going to cheat no matter how little time you leave them.
Yes.
Me personally, I'm going to speak for me. I feel as though in my relationships, I like to have a degree of space because it allows me to miss you. It allows me to think about the time we did have together and evaluate our time. But if I'm always with you, I don't get a chance to evaluate those moments. That makes sense? Like, I know that whenever, all right, prime example, I was in a marriage at one point in time, and there would be times when she'd go out of town, for family events or stuff. I couldn't make it because of my business, right? She'd go, and those were the times where we got closer because I got to reflect on what I missed. I got to reflect on how it is day to day with her, But if I never got those moments, I probably would never appreciate, what I had in front of me because I never had a chance to be away from it to evaluate. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I think that's important. I think the time, even like little time apart, like I feel like every relationship, marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, even friendships. 'Cause I know some people that are friends that had a clingy friend. You ever had a clingy friend?
Yep.
They always want to be like with you all the time. Like, bro, chill. So if a friendship needs space, don't you think even more so a relationship should need space?
Yes.
I'm not saying neglect your partner. I'm not saying that. I'm saying make time for your partner, spend time with them. But there's got to be times where it's like you're not. The times you guys don't talk.
I feel like those boundaries should be established from the jump. Those are strong boundaries. You don't want to be up somebody 24/7. You got to give them time to miss you. You can't. It becomes annoyance, and you wonder why you're always arguing with that person.
Boom, because you start getting annoyed. Okay,
Yeah.
boom.
You start
I've
getting
had
upset.
relationships where the girl was so far up my butt, right? She could see out my mouth.
Oh, good Lord.
And I'm like, yo. So like it got to the point where I got so annoyed, I just had to end it.
Yeah, it's
I
like
was just so
irritation.
annoyed. I started being another version of myself. I'm not a bad guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm so easygoing. But once you get on my nerves to a certain degree, I get pretty mean. I ain't gonna lie. And I started seeing that side of me come. I said, you know what? This ain't working. Detach myself and let it go. Because she just wasn't willing not to be up my butt. And I think like what played in a part of that was one of the things you said was sometimes they're so afraid. You can speak to this because you're a woman, you have women friends and all that. They're so afraid of another woman stepping into play, and that plays into insecurity. So what are you doing that shows that you're not worthy of this man? If you're worthy and you're confident in what you're bringing to the table, you shouldn't worry about another woman stepping in. I'm never worried about no dude stepping in my place because of what I bring to the table. Not just money, but just as a person, who I am as a person. You know, that's why I'm not. If you do decide to find somebody else, okay, maybe he's more compatible. I'm not even gonna get mad about it. So I'm not ever worried about that. But I feel like maybe women overthink. You think you guys overthink that more than we do?
I think women are in their head a lot, and I think that what you focus on and what you put your energy into, like you get more of that back. So if a woman, right? So if a woman is constantly focused on, oh my gosh, he's cheating. Oh my gosh, he's gonna cheat on me. Oh my gosh, what if he finds someone prettier or skinnier or with more money or whatever? Like it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you put so much time and energy into that eventually that's what you're going to get back. Whereas, you know, most times what's, you know, done in the dark comes to light. Most times that kind of stuff comes out eventually. You don't need to be a detective. You don't need to be all through his phone. You don't need to be with him 24/7. Like, it will come out and then you can move accordingly. But having that be your sole focus of where you're putting all of your energy, all it does is usher that situation into your life.
I feel like a lot of times, men too. Oh, men do it too. I'm not going to put it on y'all women because men will be clingy for the same reasons. They're insecure. They might have a real pretty woman. They got it going on. They're like, well, how do I even get this girl? How did I get her in the first place? And they're so up her butt because they're afraid some guy that's actually better. I had a friend, like, I'm going to give this quick example. And I don't care if he finds out. So, I have a friend, and he, you know, he wasn't really, you know, had nothing really going on. You know, he one of them guys has that false bravado, thinks he's better than what he really is. One of them guys, but got this girl who had it going on. I'm talking about had it going on. Looked good, got her money right. You know, had a business. You know, everything was everything, right? You got that look like you know what I'm talking about. So everything was going on with her, but he was so insecure. He so up her butt. He had her job all the time. He's always wanted to be up her butt. Everywhere that she go, he wanted to go. But to the point where me and her wanted to do some business at one point in time, right? He didn't want to. He thought that I was trying to get his girl. He's insecure. I'm like, bro, I want your girl. But even if I did, like, why you feel like your place is threatened? He felt threatened because, you know, maybe she and I have more in common than he and she did, you know? Maybe that's the thing. So that's the thing. I think it's all insecurities at the end of the day. I mean, personally, I said, if Jay-Z come today and come scoop my girl up because he got more going on than me and she feeling that, more power to her. I'm not worried about it. I'm not thinking about that, though. But that's one thing. Beyonce's going to come take my man. That's what they be thinking. For real. Like, Beyonce gonna come take my man. Oh no. No, seriously though. That's what they be thinking. But that's not necessarily true. But like Shauna said, self-fulfilling prophecy. Law of attraction states whatever you think about and feel and say will come true.
Whether you don't want it or you want it.
Whether you want it or not.
Yeah, because the universe doesn't care if what you're focused on is good or bad. It just,
No
whatever
negations.
you give energy to is going to reflect that back to you.
Yes.
This is my command. I'll give you what you want.
Boom.
That's exactly how the world gives it to you. I mean,
And what you want isn't what you say you want, it's where you put your time, focus, and energy, which can be completely different from what you say
You truly want.
feelings provoke a lot. Once, especially when you have a lot of strong emotion towards it, it's going to come a lot faster. Your emotions play a lot in
Yes,
the law of
it
attraction.
does. If you feel it, man, oh man. And girls say like, oh, I know something's going on, I know this, but you don't know. You just feeling this because of insecurities. I feel like a lot of stuff that we feel, not I'm gonna say we, all of us, are based upon how we feel about ourselves. Because if you feel like me, I'm very confident in myself. You know, I'm very sure of myself, and I never have insecurities where I'm like, oh, she's gonna leave me. Oh, she's going to be with this guy. Oh, she's going to want him better. Or maybe he has more money than me. Maybe he looks better than me. Maybe he has more muscles than me. Maybe he has bigger stuff than me. I'm not thinking that way. I think I'm sufficient in all those areas enough to draw who I need.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how you get it.
You know, I'm not worried about having the biggest, the most, the best, the strongest, the longest, all that. I'm worried about having me and being happy with me. And then when you're happy with you, you'll get somebody who's going to be happy with you because you know who you are. And you're happy with that. But then I wonder if sometimes people like, some women will talk themselves out of you. Now I'm explaining what I mean by that. You ever, I know, Shauna, I know you had a guy like this. I'm going to come at you. I know you probably did too. Not a guy, a girl.
I understand what you were saying.
Be clear, let's be
But
clear.
have you had a person that would talk so much about how much they don't deserve you, how much they feel like you could do better, how much they feel like you're this and that and the third, to the point where you're thinking in your head like, hold on, maybe I'm too good for this person.
Mm-hmm.
They talking to themselves out. You had that before, didn't you?
Yeah, but for me, it wasn't like feeling like I'm too good for this person. It was more so feeling like we're not on the same page, like we're not evenly matched. So he basically put me up on a pedestal, and I don't understand how you can relate to someone from said pedestal. So, you know, when it's like and I did, you know, I went out with this guy and it was compliment after compliment, which girls love compliments, but, you know, after a certain point when all you're focused on is you're so pretty and you're so hot and and it's like, okay, like my face isn't even my best feature. Like, could we talk about something else?
I get that all the time.
Talk
I'm
about
just
the
playing.
inside.
Just
Talk
playing.
about the inside.
And it's just, you know, it revealed that he had some serious insecurities in him and that it wasn't something that I was really willing to work through. So it didn't work.
That's true too. Like, you ever have a girl be like, oh, I never had a guy like you, or you're so this. That's cool and all, but then eventually you start to think, because I had a girl before put me on such a high pedestal and always tell me, oh, I don't know how I got you. I don't know how. I'm like, well, how did you get me?
Right.
Oh, I'm thinking like, now, how did you get me? Because if you're thinking that, who else is thinking that?
You're right.
Should I think it? Am I selling myself short? Because subconsciously, that's what you're doing. You think everything, most of what we do and project is subconscious. So in a relationship, that's why I'm never going to tell a girl, you're too good for me. You deserve better. If that's the case, I'm not going to be with you. I'm going to up my game somehow. Cause if I have to tell a woman she's too good for me, that's weird to me. I would never tell women, if a man ever tells you he's too good for you, you deserve better. One of two things is true. He just don't want to be with you. He's trying to make it a good, clean excuse to get a clean escape away from you. Number one. Or number two, he really not good enough. He really a weirdo. Because who says that? Unless he's trying to leave, or, you know, ain't no dude that deserves you either way going to tell you that you too good for them.
Yeah,
Who says that? What in the self-esteem is going on here? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah. Another one that I see a lot of women struggle with is when they say, I don't want to hurt you. Okay, so a guy who's into you is never going to be thinking about hurting you. He's not, that's just not going to be a thought process. So a man who says, I don't want to hurt you, knows that you're more into him than he is into you.
In what context is he saying that? Give me an example of what context. I'm on your page, but I want to make sure I'm on the right page.
So, like, let's say it's a woman who brings up the talk, right? Which I never recommend. But she brings up the talk. What are we? Where is this going? What are we doing? And the answer that a lot of women will get is, I'm not ready. I don't want to hurt you. Along those lines, which is really...
Translation. I'll translate. Not really that into you. sex may be good, but other than that, that's all you got going. One trick pony, see you later.
Right, and her being ahead of him and being over invested makes him uncomfortable.
But here's the thing. When you do that talk prematurely, this is some good advice for y'all women. Please listen to this. When y'all do that talk, where are we going, too soon, or any at all, the guy's going to run. We do not like pressure.
Yep.
We do not like pressure. I'm showing you all my syllables. We do not like pressure.
100%.
Because once we feel pressure, we're going to run or detach. We like to make sure we do it on our terms. That may not seem fair, but that's just how men are. Because most men fear commitment to begin with. Let us fall in love with you. Let us decide when we're in love. Let us decide when we want to be with you. Because if we don't and you force us into it, this happens all the time. I'm gonna ask you a question. How many times you been in a relationship, didn't know how the heck you got there?
Plenty of times. I've been in a lot of situations.
I'm like, how am I even, when did we go together? What? It'd be a month in. I'm like, hold on a second. When did I even tell you we go together? And it just happens. They just make it happen somehow. But it's like, you know, that pressure. We feel that pressure. We either going to jump in on board because if she's good enough, we'll jump on board too quick. If she's not good enough, we're going to run. Either way, it's toxic.
I've
because
love do that. Love is just like, man, how do we get her? You saying you love me?
You love me? And then I'm like thinking like, I'm like Drake talking about, I say I love you because you said it too. You know what I mean? I'm like on some doing it wrong type stuff. You know what I mean? I'm feeling like, you know, man, like you say I love you. It's so awkward when a girl tells you love. You ever have a girl that you do love, but she tells you love you too much, and you like sometimes you don't want to say it back because it's just like, yo,
you're overdoing it.
You're overdoing it, bro. How much confirmation?
It loses its impact.
Loses its impact
when you say it too much.
You're correct.
Yeah,
I like that one. Do you think there's okay? Losing its impact. I'm gonna ask Shauna first. Then I'm gonna let us chime in. Do you think sex could lose its impact in a relationship?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I think it can. Same concept. If you're overexerting yourself in that area, it might become commonplace. It might become dry. It might become like rote, basically. Instead of it being like, you know, a passionate energy exchange, it's an obligation. Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you. I'm asking us men. We didn't lose the question. No, the question.
Sex loses impact.
Can sex lose its impact, though? Can sex lose its impact?
Yes. I mean, people use it as a, you know, thing to reconnect the relationship, and I feel like eventually what doesn't happen when people are hurt. There's nothing you can do. The sex doesn't have the same impact of rekindling that relationship. So yes, sex does lose impact when you're thinking that way.
I feel like I treat everything like a restaurant, bro. That's my scenario for everything. That's my, we call that a metaphor, as she said. Is I'll say, okay, I love Devon's. Devon's is a great spot. It's a 5-star, right? I think it's still 5 stars. And, you know, the food's great. But I don't want to eat there every day. Every day, all day, for every meal. All the time. And snacks, and desserts. No, bro. Sometimes I want to stay away from Devon's a little bit, just so I can be like, oh yeah, Devon's is great. Let me go and check Devon's out again. I say that to say this. Sometimes you want to miss the sex in the relationship a little bit. Not saying go weeks without sex. I'm not saying that. But sometimes you got to take a couple days off and go do something and then come back around and then like, oh yeah, baby, you are sexy. I forgot them curves. You ever had, all right, here's a good one. Do you feel like your girl should be naked around you all the time?
No, but she should be appealing to me in some way, doing something sexy.
I'm gonna ask you
all the time.
No, not all the time.
She knows what's going on. She knows what's going on.
She has to know me, know when I want to do something.
Should your man always be naked around you?
No.
Why?
Because I have kids.
Oh, no. If you didn't have kids, even if his body's perfect, ain't it like a thing where it's like a wow factor where it's like when he does come out his stuff, he's like, oh wow, he does it. You know, it makes you, because I don't want to see you naked all the time because I want to miss it. I don't want to get tired of it. We're human beings. I don't care how much you love somebody or attract this one. I don't care if you're Halle Berry. They got tired of her too. Wesley Snipes, Eric Benet, who else? They got tired of her. She's arguably the baddest woman in the world, right?
Yeah, it's actually a law. It's an economic law. It's called the law of diminishing returns. So basically,
spit it to him. Say it again. I'll put that on the screen. It's called the what?
Law of diminishing returns.
Okay.
So basically, if you go and get beer and pizza, right? Like the first 2 pieces of pizza, generally really good. Like you really enjoy them. Third piece, fourth piece of pizza, by the time you get to the fifth piece of pizza, you're not enjoying that pizza nearly as much as the first piece. Same thing with the beer. Like, first beer, really enjoy it. By the time you get to like the third or the fourth beer, you're kind of over. It's not nearly, you don't get nearly the enjoyment as you did from the first one, and everything works like that. So the more you have of something, the more you get used to it, the less you appreciate it.
That is true. That is true.
Hey, is a saying that says familiarity breeds contempt.
True.
Familiarity breeds contempt. So it's like it's a balancing act. It really is. You don't want to neglect it altogether, but yet you don't want to overdo it to the point where you're like, dang, I'm getting tired of Red Lobster already. For God's sake.
Right.
I'm starting to have it come out my pores. But you still need, but you don't want to not eat. You gotta eat. You gotta eat. You don't want to starve yourself either. Even if Red Lobster is the only option, you still gonna eat eventually.
Exactly.
So I think that was a good show, man. I think we covered a lot of good topics. We got different views, you know. We got you know. You got the young buck in there. You got, you know,
the youngest.
Y'all would not even guess how old this guy is, man. I'm gonna let y'all guess. We're gonna give 10 seconds to guess. Ask your partner there when you're watching. How old is this kid? How old is he? Okay. Comment below.
The Jeopardy.
Comment below, and if you comment below and get it right, I ain't gonna give you nothing. But no, seriously.
Let me get extra $20.
Get extra nothing. No, if you comment below and get it right, I'll cash at you. The first person to say his true age will get a $25 cash. Just send me your cash.
I might go comment on that.
You can't do it. You can't do it. That's not fair. That's cheating. But no. Comment below.
I come my dog
like
reaching, snakes in the sky just sneaking. Won't do no job, don't need it. Coach ain't make me anemic.
I'm getting all these views.
I'm dreaming. New car with fast speeding. E-way turned up, we skiing. August no break, I need it. I come my dog reaching, snakes in the sky just sneaking. Won't do no job, don't need it. Coach ain't make me anemic. Big baby bag, I'm dreaming. New car with fast speeding. E-way turned up, we skiing. August no break, I need it.
Watch out about that, Jimmy's watching. Run up on her, run this pocket. Jimmy's watching. There's the dick. Just me and my rock. Just me and my rock. When I do get poppin', these niggas like these bitches, yeah, you know I gotta watch them. Walk up, you get popped. Dissing on the internet, that'll get you dropped. Running with these killers, and you know they cannot stop. Had to cut him off, cause I thought he was a cop. Who doing the stew?
I come my dog reaching, snakes in the sky they sneaking. Won't do no drug, don't need it. Coach ain't make me anemic. Big bag, I'm dreaming. New car real fast, I'm speeding. E-way turned up, we speeding. August no break, I need it. I come my dog reaching, snakes in the sky they sneaking. Won't do no drug, don't need it. Coach ain't make me anemic. Big bag, I'm dreaming. New car real fast, I'm speeding. E-way turned up, we speeding. August no break, I need it.
More interesting, so stay tuned, guys. All right. Talk to y'all later.